Welcome everyone to Educator Diaries. I'm Maria and I'm here with my dear friend Chantel.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 7, Holidaying with Your Children. So today we've got some holiday tips for travelling via air, land and sea.
So what's the rule of thumb?
When going on holidays, don't go or don't take your kids.
I think that's a good one.
Or number one tip is when going on holidays, there's one thing you should take with you.
What's that?
The child's grandparents. And
That's right. They make a good nanny.
That's right. That's right.
But look, on a serious note, the most key point when travelling with young children is to be organised, and I mean organised.
Yeah, true.
We've both been there and done that.
Yeah, if you can have everything set out, then generally you are ready for anything that life can throw at you. But there's chances are that something's going to happen and you're not going to be ready for it. So
that's what makes great memories, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So, but I think nowadays, like now that the countries have all opened up again, you can see that lots of families with young children have decided to take, trips on planes and overseas and things like that. So today we've got some tips for people, especially when travelling on a plane with young children. Have you done many flights with your kids when they were younger?
Oh, yes. I mean, I think the youngest travelling from, New South Wales to Queensland on a plane just to go to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
We used to do that, but I think Chanel was the youngest. She was 6 when we went to
Germany.
Okay. Yeah, and that was a very long flight.
Yeah.
But
yeah, at least at 6 they can sort of kind of, you can communicate with them a bit better and that. So,
but I really don't know how these parents still with babies.
I know, right? I don't think I've ever done young babies. I remember going to Perth, which you actually came on that holiday with my sister and her young son at the time. So
yes.
I don't know if you remember, but I'm pretty sure
that was a long flight.
Yeah, I think Mitch did like an explosive poo at the back of the plane, and I think it stunk out the whole plane. Like we're all mortified. I was like, yeah, he's not my child, he's hers. So one of those things that there's a few tips travelling on an aeroplane.
Yep.
Number one, which I don't understand it. The first thing they always say is parents to board first. What's with that?
Yeah, why that?
Yeah, so don't do it. Don't board first. Because what happens is you get on there, you're thinking, oh, yeah, I'm all good. I've got my seat. I'm all ready. And then 20 minutes later.
No, I know the reason why sometimes it's a good idea that they do go on first. But you know what? Get your husband or your partner to go on first to put the overhead luggage in.
If you've
got luggage, it needs to be, because everyone goes and uses everyone's
that's true.
Overhead luggage, right?
Yeah.
You stay back with the kids, right?
That's true, yeah.
Just sit there and wait with the kids. Get him to go on there. Put the luggage. Set you up, and then be the last to walk in, because then after your children weren't sitting on that plane waiting.
I know, because sometimes you can sit there for like nearly 20 minutes.
Or more.
Yeah.
And international flights, you'll be there for, for a good while.
Yeah. So, everyone, because that's right, especially if the plane's,
because you've got
bigger.
First class, business class, you've got,
Yeah. So, unless you're flying first class and you want to sit up there with your little champagne and stuff. So that's a bit different. Hey. But for us normal people, if you're traveling, maybe, come on, like get on the plane last. So it just gives your children that little bit of extra time of not being so confined to a seat anyway. So also the other thing too is the whole ear pop thing. So I know with young children, I remember friends of mine, they actually if they were breastfeeding, like they breastfed their babies, on takeoff and stuff to stop the whole ear pop thing, or even a bottle if you're not breastfeeding, a bottle or a drink or something.
Yep.
There's also the lollipop, have a lollipop in your handbag.
That's a good idea.
Or if you've got a sugar-free option, go for that as well. But just have something that your child can like suck on or something like that just helps with that.
Because if you feel it,
cabin pressure.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right.
Because if you feel it, you guarantee your child's feeling it too, and they can't explain to you what's happening. All they can explain after is screaming because their ears are sore.
That's right.
So that's a good option, a lollipop,
Yeah, so that's always something to, try and keep in your handbag or whatever, ready to go. And don't forget, when you're coming home, it applies as well. So sometimes we're all so organised for the flights over,
but coming
home, we forget these tips as well.
Yeah.
So there's also some awesome flight activity books out there for some older children. You can get online and have a look at them. So they do an I Spy on the plane and things like that, so they can tick things off throughout the book. There's puzzles. So some of those plane activities are really good. Yep. If you don't want your child on a screen for the whole entire time.
Well, look, we know the first thing you'd probably pack in your bag is your iPad.
Yeah.
You know what? When it comes to, being on a flight or, travelling in a car for long distances, you know what? Take advantage of the iPad.
Yeah, do what works.
Yeah, that's right. Download some movies.
Yeah, or your child's favourite TV shows or things like that. Make sure that they've got their headphones as well, because sometimes if it's the aeroplane ones that they try and give you, children aren't used to having to put something in their ears. So, or over their ears, they may not be as comfortable. So if they've even got their own set of earphones, is also a really good option as well.
Yeah.
So
but, I saw these little backpacks, like surprise backpacks.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that you just go to the shop with your children not aware of what's going in these backpacks. Buy all different little types of,
like toys, activities,
stickers, little, those little hand sort of, games that they can play, and just randomly get them to put their hand in and pick one out.
Oh, okay, so it's a new experience for them. It's not something that,
It's familiar at home that yes, it's good to take something from home they're familiar with, but I can guarantee you any preschooler age child would love a surprise from their backpack, a surprise backpack.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And even in those backpacks as well, so just you can even pop one of those little, one of their little blankets or something like that, those polar fleece blankets, because planes get really, really cold and that. So even if you're only going for a short flight, then maybe they can pop that down the bottom of, they've each got their own little, because you can buy the small ones. They don't have to be bulky.
Yeah, I remember when we were travelling just to Europe with Chanel. I mean, she was 6. But still, they gave us a little blanket on Emirates, but it wasn't warm enough, for her. So I sort of had to double up, giving her another one.
Yeah.
And when children are tired, they become very cold and they become very, they want to be cuddled. And popping their own little sort of thin, like another little warm blanket. So that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I actually saw on TikTok was, and I don't think they had them around when my kids were flying, but more for toddlers, are these things called airplane beds.
Oh, wow.
So what you do, they either come with a pump. There was one lady that said, don't worry about taking the pump, you can just blow it up, if you
and then pass out after you do it.
Yeah. No, if you press for space for the pump and stuff like that. So, but what you do have to do, you have to check with your airline to make sure that they are approved by that airline. So I think they're around $200 and something or something for these ones. But dead set, it sort of kind of goes over the seat and then goes down to the floor. But it makes like a bit of an extension bed for your toddler that toddler or baby, they can lie on it. They're comfortable. They've got extra leg room type thing, or they can sit up and they're not so restricted to the seat. It just gives them a whole lot more room. And I tell you, they're almost got their own little first class seat there, lying down. So they were really, really good. I thought that was an awesome idea, and so many parents have sworn by them as well and said that they're fantastic, especially for those long flights as well. So
when we mentioned about some of the toys to bring, some suction toys are good for little ones. Put on the window. So if you're sitting the baby on your lap or a little toddler on your lap, they can just sit there
and twirl it, and even take it off and put it down. That's a really good idea as well. And another thing that someone suggested was new toys, and that so there's something for your child that they've never seen before as well. So
typically in that surprise backpack, that they can it becomes sort of something new and something exciting, and distracts them for at least 15 minutes.
That's right. And even don't forget their drink bottles or sippy cups, because on the airplanes they'll give you a cup of water. And if you've got a 2-year-old, let me tell you, not even 2-year-old, because I remember flying to Fiji back when we were kids, and my brother spilt his whole thing of Coke all over my sister and her white pants. Let me tell you, the whole plane heard about it. And that, so just be aware, maybe, drink bottles or, like I said, sippy cups or things like that for your child as well. So just to try and stop some of those
and
accidents.
Change of clothes.
And wipes. I think wipes are a godsend.
Wipes are a godsend, whether you're travelling by air, by land, or wherever you're travelling. Wipes do the trick for children and adults.
Another thing I saw actually last time I was travelling up to Queensland to chat with you, this mum had some string. The child was probably about 3 or 4, and the Cheerio breakfast cereals, and the child was threading that, and then she tied it up, and then they were eating the necklace.
Like a snack while they're watching a movie or something.
Yeah. So
right.
obviously, you're sitting there and you're supervising.
You can't go and pop some popcorn, so,
Yeah, so you might as well, sit there and have your little Cheerio
That's a good
necklace.
idea.
Yeah, it was so cute as well. So
you spoke to me before about Apple AirTags.
Yeah, so I saw, again, good old TikTok, I saw a mum, what she did, she had an AirTag for each of her children, and you can buy them, you can get it like a watch band, and the AirTag fits into the watch band, and she had them on, them on her children. So she said, just in case, even at an airport, so if you're in a really busy airport overseas or something like that, and she said if any of her children went missing, she could track them, and they were just pretty much wearing the AirTag watch type thing. So, then you can, I guess, pop that in your luggage or whatever.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because I know some airports, I remember going to Dubai airport. That's massive,
ridiculous, yeah,
massive, and just blink of an eye, you're talking. All of a sudden, as all children do, they tend to just
wander off, or it's all something new. So they're looking at this and looking at that. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good safety idea that I hadn't even really thought about that actually. Yeah.
And your own little first aid kit. And when I say that, a thermometer.
Yeah. So I think that's a general doesn't matter where you're going on holidays.
In the car.
Yeah, in the car, whatever. You need to pack your own little first aid kit. So you may not be able to take it on the plane depending on what you've got in there, but some really good ideas that for young little ones, like the nose suckers and that, because generally some children who do go on planes may get very stuffed up from, where it's the air or whatever. So, so you can get those little nose suckers. So, if your child can't breathe in the middle of the night, it's a really good idea just to, you can suction them out. So you have your Panadol or Nurofen, whatever you
give your child,
The thermometer is, another really good thing to pack. But, I thought the nose sucker was actually a really good idea as well. So, but it's the same sort of thing when traveling in a car, like you said, make sure, you download your movies, but there's also some of those other games that you can play. My kids used to love the old Spotto.
Turn off the music, and just have some family time. Yeah. Because that's what you're trying to do, create memories.
That's right.
Because that's why you're taking children on holidays.
Yeah.
In the first place. So play those games. I Spy,
Yeah, Spotto. There's also, I think another really good thing I saw was the visual journey of where you're going. So if you can, pre-plan it, you can even have once we get to this point, if it's a long car journey, then you can say, okay, we're going to pass, something through the Blue Mountains. We're going to Katoomba, and you've got a picture of something in Katoomba. It's okay, and they can, they've got the actual visual in the car. That they go, we've passed that that landmark and what have you.
Yeah, and that can work for air travel too. We've got, you can do it by the hour. You can do it by the 2 hours, or then we're going to watch this movie, then we're going to have something to eat. And so you've got those little visuals, those little pecs that they can pull off.
Yeah, so the child's not going, are we there yet?
Are we there?
How long?
How many times did your children ask you that?
I tell you, So you can just say, well, what picture are we up to?
We're there when we get there.
I know. How many times did your parents say that to you?
We're there when we get there. Ask me again.
Yeah. Does it look like we're there? Oh, too funny. Another really good tip is also, if you are in a car, try and stop. Have those those stops already planned out where you're going to go to, and be realistic about what we're going to need to stop here and going to need to stop there, because you might need to obviously for travel reasons, for safety reasons, but the children will probably need to have some time to spread their legs as well. So
what the best thing was that we took on holidays when we were driving from New South Wales to Queensland. I mean, because it was at the time, the roads are much better now, but it was 12 hours. We took a portable potty, toilet seat. That was pure gold.
Yep.
Because how many times I got to go to the toilet, then the other one says half an hour later, I've got to stop again. But when you're driving, these
there may not be any toilets.
No, there isn't. Some of these toilets are just,
You're better off going on the side of the road.
Let me tell you, these portable potties, they're great.
Because I think, I saw one that you can actually put a little bag or something with it. Is that right? It's like a little potty and an insert, so therefore you can, just get rid of that.
Get rid of that, exactly. Just pull over on the side of the road and, That was huge. That was like amazing when you've got 3 children travelling in the car. You know.
And that's almost like there's these other things that I'll tell you a story in a minute. It's mainly for boys, but it's like a little canister thing that they can actually, like a little portable canister thing that they can actually wee into. And that because...
And stay in the car while they're doing it.
That's right, because sometimes you can't pull over. Like we found when we were on our way through LA to the airport, got caught in peak hour traffic, right? So we're in this hire car, we're in the middle of LA, we are running late, we are going to miss our flight going home, and Brent is stressed to the nth degree. We are in a traffic jam, don't really know where we're going. We're just going off the map thing to tell us how long until we get there. We had to drop the car back to the hire place and then jump on a shuttle and get to the airport. So anyway, amongst all this, Lincoln pipes up and he goes, I need to go to the toilet. And I'm like, oh, mate, not going to happen. Number one, there's no toilets around here. We're on a freeway somewhere and we are stuck. We are dead set crawling, doing 10Ks, can't even get off the freeway. And he's like, but I'm busting. And Brent's like, oh, no, I can't deal. And I'm like, right, okay. So I had a coffee cup. Yeah. I was like, mate, you know what? You're just going to have to go in the coffee cup and, you know, put the lid back on.
Got to do what you have to do.
Got to do what you got to do. So we're in this hire car. Anyway, so that's all good. So Lincoln's in the back and he's trying to pull his pants down to try and do his wee. Well, Paris is sitting next to him and she's like nearly vomiting because, you know, it's the most disgusting thing in the world. And so, mind you, the kids were like around 8. They're not teenagers like they are. No. They're not 18 and 21. Thank goodness. So anyway, this is what happened. And then he's trying to pull his pants back up. And so he hands the cup to Paris and says, can you hold this? And she's like, she's lost it. She's like, rah! Anyway, the cup's gone flying.
Oh, no.
So there is urine all through the back of this car that we're about to hand back. And I'm like, so we're all so stressed. I just start laughing. Brent is punching the steering wheel and going, I can't believe this is happening. We're going to be late. We've got urine. How do we hand this car back? Blah, 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 blah. Like, it was just, and Paris is like, and Lincoln's like, why? Why didn't you hold it? She goes, it was wee. Like, I wasn't going to hold your wee. And it was just like the most, like, I look back now and I couldn't stop laughing. I was just like, someone shoot me. Like, I can't do this. I can't, like, someone, I don't know.
That device that you were talking about, that little,
I know. Where was that? That would have saved me. That's
a handy thing to have for boys,
So just be aware that there's moments that you may not be able to stop and that. So, but long story short, we got the car back and I cleaned it all up with wipes and got in the shuttle and we made the flight
wipes. Home. Yeah. Wipes.
Make sure you always have wipes. So yeah, there you go. So another really good thing actually that I did see online as well, Maria, was this memory game snack box.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, whether or not you're flying or in a car or whatever. So it's like this memory game, and so you press the little button and it flips up and you can put like a snack in there. So some grapes or some pretzels or something like that. Yep. But what you match that up with another box on there somewhere. So they've got to try and match the two boxes. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that was another really good...
well, that'll be fun and sort of, you know, at the same time they can eat and play at the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's great. What about cruises? I've never done a cruise with my kids.
So we have cruised with our kids. They weren't toddlers, they were a bit older, but some friends of mine have done cruises and they said the one thing is try and pack a small stroller that you can, you know, wheel your child around the boat and stuff, especially for the little ones.
That's a good idea.
Always have a fan on the stroller because the children get so hot. So even if you're getting off a cruise and you're going for a day trip somewhere, if you're wheeling a toddler, generally cruises, you are cruising to warm destinations. So make sure you've got like a little portable fan on there for them as well.
That clips onto the pram.
Like a battery operated one. So that's a really good idea, even if you're going overseas and going to like Disneyland or somewhere like that, just to make sure you've got that. Also, just be aware of the appropriate cruises. So some cruises don't have children's pools, so they'll only have adult pools, and then they won't allow children in those pools with swim diapers and things like that.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, just make sure that it's an age-appropriate cruise as well, so that does cater for young children, because not all cruises do. So you don't want to get on there with like a 1-year-old and them going, oh, no, sorry, like we don't have any facilities. You can't, you know, go to the pool or you can't
and as you know, most kids like to do bombs in pools and they jump in and splash everywhere, but you know.
Yeah, so some of them are quite restrictive with that as well. So And like another really good thing, like for when you're going on cruises or even on holidays and things like that. So just make sure that you bring their water bottles and what have you. So even like a lunchbox. So if you are on a cruise, you can maybe go up to the buffets and fill them up, especially if then you're going on a day tour and what have you. So that's a really good idea. The other thing too is I've seen this thing. It almost goes for all holidays that you could do. Yeah. Is this one lady had this, like those over the door shoe organisers. So you can clip it onto your door, hang it with a hanger, and it's got all the pockets. So what she did, she actually had all the children's outfits, her child's outfits packed in each one of the little sleeves. So when she got it out of the bag, she wasn't trying to scrummage through a suitcase.
What's happening when,
she could put the suitcase away, and she just hung it over the door. And so there, all the child's clothes were all there, organised out of the way. She could just pick it up, had the nappy packed in there, and everything as well. So, or you could use it to, be an organiser for your stateroom and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so you can put hats and all those things that you have lying around the room, because a lot of the cruise rooms are quite small as well, so you don't have a whole lot of room. So
When I think you spoke to me about this before, and I thought, wow, that would have been a great idea, because I took my kids all the time when we used to, do beach holidays. You talked about a pop-up pool. You were speaking to me. Oh, it's like a pop-up pool ball pit.
Yeah, so you can either use a ball pit, like I think Kmart have even got them that they just fold down and what have you, or a blow-up pool. I've seen it done twice.
But miniature size.
Yeah, just small, like a small little one. And so what the parents did, they put it beside their pool lounge. And they're either on the cruise or it can be on the beach. Yep. So it keeps the child out of the sand, and they put some toys within the little thing. But this mum had actually had it beside the pool at a resort, and so she could sit there on her sun lounge. The child's right beside her, happily playing
in the water,
in the little pool thing. Yeah. So she didn't have any water in it, actually. No.
Okay.
So this one she didn't. She just had toys and what have you in there. Right. But it's just more. So they had their own space. So she's not trying to hold them on the lounge, because they'll just get up and, crawl or whatever away. So, but or you could put obviously some water in it as well.
Because that folds up flat. That's, that wouldn't take up much space at all.
No.
Luggage. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and even at the beach, she had it at the beach as well. So, which was a really, really good idea. So,
and probably a good idea, especially around pool areas and maybe on the decks at the cruises, for non-slip pool slippers for kids.
Yeah, you can just get those little aqua shoes or little slippy things. So because so many children, doesn't matter how many times you say don't run, they're going to run.
That means run.
Yeah. So another tip that I saw for holidays in general was this mum found this powdered mineral sunblock for your hair. So it's like a mineral powder, and she put it all through her daughter's or son's parts in their hair. So rather than trying to use the greasy sunblock and trying to put that all over their head, it was like a puff powder type thing. So she just put it all over their hair, and it was a mineral powdered sunblock, which I thought was such a good idea.
Because you know what, sometimes kids don't leave their hats on.
No,
especially when going into the water. And having that protectiveness, on their head, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good idea as well. So
another thing, just to for kids when they're winding down, and it could be if you're travelling on a plane and it's you're travelling through the night, they get a little bit restless, and you need something to wind them down. Instead of stimulating them with a movie, because sometimes children fall asleep watching a movie, but if they're wearing headphones, play some alpha frequency music to relax them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or even with the young babies, sometimes even the white noise helps with that sort of stuff as well. And it's funny, even on a plane, that's something that when I've done some night flights, I've tried to find some classical music or whatever to just to listen, because sometimes that buzzing even on a plane or what have you is actually more annoying than
it is to me. I mean, let alone to a child. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so there's so many different things that I found online and what have you, that now that children, parents can access these great resources. Like I said, back in the day, we were probably lucky to. Well, I don't think we even had iPads for our kids to take away with us.
No.
I think it was. I remember.
I had a portable DVD player. And So, which was great because I could bring it into the hotel room.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had the TV screens at the back of the headrest.
Oh, yes.
Which
yeah,
was
in the
great.
cars, yeah.
But, that was before we got that car. But before, we used to hang the portable DVD players at the back of the passenger chairs.
Yes.
Seats, the front, which, that was a godsend having those DVD players. But
I know. Well, nowadays, I think it's just, like you said, the key is to be organised.
Yep.
Even packing, like there was some other people that do the Ziploc bags, like have the children's all their clothes packed in a Ziploc bag for each day. So you name like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So therefore the bags aren't getting mixed up. You just grab the Ziploc bag or those other little travel bags that you can get and you're ready to go. So you know that you're covered, for all seasons type thing as well. So
if money's not an option, you can always buy those those designer type pack bags with zippers and it's fancy, but when the going gets tough, you just go and use a
good old Ziploc bag and with a Sharpie and write on it.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, look, some of these things here, like we've used on our our experiences of holidaying with our kids, but some of these other great things that you talked about, like Apple AirTags and these all the different types of games and that's awesome.
There's so many things out there now that you can do to make your holidays easier as well, and even forums that you can get on to ask those questions. If you're going to America or what have you, when is the best time to go? Like I know for us, like when we went to Disneyland, we made sure that we didn't go during school holidays, American school holidays. So when you are going on holidays, just check those little things out because generally you'll save money by going out of school holidays.
Yeah, out of the peak season.
Yeah, and like I know when we went to Disneyland, I think we left it 2 weeks because I remember a lady there saying a week before school holidays and a week after school holidays were still their peak times. So the rides, the lines for the rides can be just, ridiculous. Sometimes it's a really good thing to jump on if you are planning a holiday, jump on Facebook or jump on Instagram or what have you and join some of those groups and ask questions. We're going at this time, any tips and stuff. So that's another really good way of getting some information.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've given you some holiday tips in travelling and you have wonderful journeys and memories with your children.
And if you decide to take them with you, good luck.
Well, just before we go, I'm going to do a shout out. I work with a beautiful young girl and her name is Scarlett and she's one of our dedicated listeners. So Scarlett, thank you so much.
Oh, we love to hear that, we've got those listeners that tune in.
How beautiful. She tells me that she listens and Mum tells me how she just listens all the time. So,
hi, Scarlett.
Thank you, Scarlett. Thank you, my darling. But before we go, I'll leave you with this inspirational quote. The greatest legacy we can leave our children is happy memories. Bye, everyone.
See you guys. Bye.